Hey, I'm Joe. This is the 57th episode of Next Level Bullshit, and today we're taking on politics and looking at the fucked up political system in the United States. Sometime in the late 1800s, Samuel Langhorne Clemens said, if voting made any difference, they wouldn't let us do it. And looking at the rogues gallery of idiots, fools, liars, and creeps that the system has allowed into the race for president, his words have never rung more true. Or maybe they are fooling you into thinking that voting for the president is important. I just dropped a turd on you. I'll get back to that in a bit. Back in episodes 4, 14, and 17, we dug into the bullshit surrounding insane amounts of billionaire money, thanks to the Citizens United ruling that has been anointing state and national candidates, literally running presidential and congressional campaigns and influencing election outcomes. We showed you how your vote doesn't really make much of a difference in the current money-saturated system. But now, the madness has escalated to a new level, as if all that shit wasn't enough to screw over the American people. Big money is front and center, in your face, and saying, screw you. I'm talking about real estate billionaire Donald Trump. His style is a confrontational, not just a in your face, it's on your face. And his only political experience is being one of those billionaires that paid off politicians for business advantages. That's right, a Republican candidate with no experience at politics. But wait, the Republicans lost their collective shits over Obama's lack of experience just a few years ago. Can you taste the epic hypocritical bullshit? But it's not just that Trump is resonating. The Republican voters love their Donald. They crave his outsider, anti-PC, zero fucks attitude. Because people hate politicians. In Guatemala, a comedian is running for president and doing really well. Shit. In Australia, prime ministers almost never finish their terms. Distrust in government is at an all-time high. The system has given us so many corrupt liars and inept buffoons that people are ready for any alternative. Some people are voting for the Donald because he's not a politician, that it sends a giant screw you to the system. Rasheen Carabin, a devoted Arlington, Virginia Republican and chief marketing officer of the job search app NSP Hires, said, I'm going to vote for him because I want the Republican Party to finally acknowledge that it's broken. And if Trump is the nominee, I don't know how it could be more obvious. Sometimes things need to be broken so they can be remade stronger. Well, that's messed up. You're going to vote for a destructive candidate, your words, as a sign of protest? But then, who else we got? Coming in a dead heat in the polls is someone who believes the earth was created just a few thousand years ago and that only Christians can be president. Dr. Ben Carson. How does someone who denies science become the director of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital? The only explanation is that he's pandering to the Christian right, and it began at the National Prayer Breakfast in 2013. And then we have the ousted former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, Carly Fiorina. She very nearly killed Hewlett-Packard by ramming through the deal to acquire troubled compact computers. HP founders Walter Hewitt and David Packard said it was a bad idea, as well as just about everyone else. But against all well-informed advice, she got her way and the stock tumbled by 65%. Carly also has outright lied about the Planned Parenthood videos on national TV and kept on lying right through the CNBC debate about women's statistics. She's a lying destroyer of companies and running for president. Next is the financially strapped, hypocritical Marco Rubio. He's anti-science, anti-privacy candidate who favors qualified women being paid less than the men for the same job. Oh, and he also wants banks who issue student loans to get a percentage of the student's income after they graduate. Isn't that called indentured servitude? Trailing right behind Rubio is Texas Senator Ted Cruz, Keystone Pipeline supporter and science denier who actually serves on the United States Senate Commerce Subcommittee on space and science. Then we have Jeb Bush, who can't seem to figure out what's going wrong when everything is going wrong. The typical Bush. Next is talk show host, religious leader, and former Arkansas governor Mike Huckabee, who still clings to the idea that Planned Parenthood sting videos are truthful and believes so much that legalized abortion is worse than the Holocaust, he'd actually consider sending in federal troops to stop abortions. I had to triple check that because I just couldn't believe that was true. And don't get me started on Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who in 2012 said the U.S. debt was the gravest threat to the country, and cutting the military budget was the most important first step. But now that he's running for president, he introduced an amendment to add $76.5 billion to the Pentagon budget. And that's just the people with significant polling numbers. There's Christie, Pataki, Kasich, Santorum, and Jindal. Now, on the other side, the Democratic options are just as shitty, but at least not so numerous. Hillary Rodham Clinton, a Wall Street favorite and constant victim of some surreal witch hunt, which is currently involving 5 different intelligence agencies, by the way. She has been in the political game since the 70s and has amassed quite the resume without any real consistency. But then there's Bernie fucking Sanders. The man has about as much charisma as a bowl of oatmeal, and he's a socialist. He even admits it. He stands for universal health care, campaign finance reform, civil liberties, free college, increased minimum wage, and a fair and humane immigration policy. The man's a monster. Seriously though, this guy is the non-politician politician many have been waiting for, and he doesn't owe anybody anything. But he has about as much of a shot as Ross Perot or Ron Paul did. So, in that toxic sludge that is the candidate pool, we've got 2 standouts with sweeping agendas that pander to the grassroots of their respective brain-dead fans. The Tea Party wingnuts are all giddy over Trump and his rough-talking, deal-making blather over everything from immigration, jobs, and giving everyone a gun. How's it all going to get done? I don't know. Nobody knows. Donald don't care. And the doe-eyed liberals are wetting themselves over Sanders and his grand vision for socialist policies woven within a capitalist system. Here's the rub, folks. It doesn't matter. Choose one. Toss a coin. Ask Siri, who should I vote for president?
Okay, it doesn't matter who you vote for president.
That's right. The only change is the nameplate on the Oval Office door. No sweeping change, program, initiative, platform, policy, or other anything initiated by a president with broad benefits to society and lasting more than a few years has happened since 1958. I'm talking about the space program and the commitment to land on the moon. That's right. I'll say it again. Not since 1958 has any long-term policy that benefits society been initiated by a president. One could argue that Nixon establishing the EPA in 1970 has had long-term societal benefits, but compared to what has come from the space program and the controversies surrounding the EPA, I don't think so. So this whole retarded 500-day-long circus of picking a president is pointless. It's to distract you from where shit really gets done, or rather where nothing gets done. Congress. Congress is why nothing substantive has happened in 57 years. It's why our schools suck. It's why our infrastructure is crumbling. It's why healthcare is a mess. It's why foreign policy is totally foobarred. And it's why billionaires are able to control politics. So circling back to Rasheen Karabin, who's voting for the Donald in the primaries as a message to the Republican leadership, go ahead, have at it. I'll get plenty of new material for future shows. And speaking of bullshit, it's time to read some viewer comments. From episode 31, Shape-Shifting Reptilian Humans Are Everywhere. Shapeshift89 writes, you used the worst possible examples of shape-shifting right there. You can view Keanu Reeves' hands transforming into claws at HD. Just watch The Matrix. I have the clip on my channel for anyone who wants to see. From our last week's episode, Terry Sterling writes, I do enjoy your show. Lots of research and data. Keep it up. I hope you become a great news source. Thanks for watching. Me too. From episode 39, The Dinosaur Hoax, Dope Dog Top Dog writes, it has nothing to do with religion. Dinosaurs are just pseudoscience. Bunch of scam artists. I'm an atheist and I'm for real science, not NSA science fiction and dinosaur bullshit. I really want to meet one of these dinosaur hoaxers one day in person. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified of all new releases. Our release schedule is still a little bit weird, but should be improving relatively soon. We hope. Follow us on Twitter for live updates, filming information, and relevant bullshit commentary and stories. If you have an idea for a story, you can email me anytime at joe@nextlevelbullshit.com. Until next time, write me in as a candidate, maybe. And then we have ousted former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, Carly Fiorina. Oh my God. Okay, well, just hold it right here for a second, because I'm gonna fuck this up a whole bunch of times.
Fiorina.
Fiorina?
Fiorina.
Fiorina. Oh, my teeth are yellow. All right. And then we have ousted former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, Carly Fiorina. Oh my God.
Carly Fiorina.
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 Fiorina. Fiorina.